What's happening around the world, and a very good evening to and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. In local news, Venerable Pahiyangal Ananda Sagara Thera says that he is willing to withdraw the case filed at the Court of Appeal if it delays the re-export of the garbage stored at the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone. The Court of Appeal issued an order preventing the re-export of the garbage containers until the 31st of this month.
The Centre for Environmental Justice filed a case at the Court of Appeal over the containers carrying waste material, and the Court of Appeal granted leave to proceed with the action. The respondents of the case were issued notices to appear before court on the 20th of September. The respondents named in the petition are Haley's Free Zone Limited, ETL Colombo Private Limited, Sri Lanka Board of Investments, the Central Environmental Authority, the Director General of Customs and the Attorney General. The Central Environmental Authority had previously stated that there could be delays in the re-export of the garbage due to the interim injunction from the Court of Appeal.
We have informed them to immediately send the containers out of the country. A non-governmental organization has taken the matter to courts. The company has agreed to send the containers out of the country after the case is over. All these companies must be held responsible for this. They must be fined for this and ordered to send back the garbage to whichever country they brought it from, whether it be England or any other country. We have filed complaints against all three of these companies at the police headquarters. We have submitted all of their names and details of the containers over a month ago, and there has been no investigations. Even we have not been called to record a statement. These companies have become strong enough to overpower the police of Sri Lanka. According to what they say, the garbage cannot be sent back to England until the case is over. If they are trying to hide behind this court case and say that they cannot re-export the containers because of that, we are willing to hold discussions with them and withdraw the case and allow them to re-export these containers. But if they are trying to hide behind this and continue their business in the country, we will act against that.
Meanwhile, many parties allege that the importation of garbage into the country is a well-coordinated operation and not a mere coincidence.
There is a possibility that it can be freed from the tax imposed by the customs. The next question is, if these containers dumped the garbage here, what did they carry in them when they travelled back? So they brought garbage and dumped it here. Something else was taken back. This shows that there is money laundering taking place. They could have transported something illegal. It could definitely be a case where the income that they received from the export of whatever was in those containers is illegal money coming into this country. So this Gazette notification provides more than enough room for large corporations to launder black money in Sri Lanka and abroad through such operations.
Meanwhile, the Marine Environment Protection Authority has said that their attempt to prevent the disposal of garbage and wastewater from ships travelling across the Sri Lankan seas has been hampered. The authority said that this was due to the fact that there was no satellite coverage to monitor the country's ocean area. Although the information had come to light that waste was being disposed into Sri Lankan waters from these ships, Sri Lanka is not equipped with the necessary technology to identify the perpetrators and bring this to an end.
In 2015, Sri Lanka's coastal line has been named as the 5th most polluted show by an international magazine. This is not good for Sri Lanka. Since this is being done at night, it is hard to identify which ships dump the garbage. We are holding discussions on how satellite technology can be used for this. About 350 to 400 ships pass by every day. The best thing to do is to use satellite technology. We deployed a team of divers and we discovered that the ocean is highly polluted with a massive amount of plastic and other waste on our shores. There are many plastic bottles, glass bottles and old footwear at the bottom of the ocean. The substances being released to the ocean are toxic to the fish. As per the information that we receive, waste material from ships are also being dumped into the ocean.
However, the marine experts point out that improper disposal of garbage from countries in the region also pile up in the ocean surrounding Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is right in the middle of the northern Indian Ocean and is affected by the monsoon currents. So the monsoon currents during one monsoon goes from west to east and then the next monsoon goes from east to west. So any waste which originates, let's say, from Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, all the way to Somalia. So all of the countries in the northern Indian Ocean, all that waste actually remains in the northern Indian Ocean. So somehow they will only end up in the beaches of the northern Indian Ocean. And Sri Lanka is one of them. But more importantly, because it's in the middle and it's affected by both of the monsoons, so Sri Lanka is actually in the middle. Away the garbage, most of the garbage comes from the very big rivers.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Army Commander Shavendra Silva called on the chief prelates of the Malvathu and Askeri chapters and obtained the blessings.
Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva arrived at the Malvathu Viharya this morning and called on the chief prelate of the Malvathu chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Tibbatu Ave Sri Sumangala Thera. The commander then called on the Anunayaka of the Malvathu chapter, Most Venerable Dimbul Kumure Vimala Dhamma Thera, and obtained blessings.
USA opposed your appointment. Even the diaspora opposed it. But let them do or think what they want. It does not concern Sri Lanka. Even if America is lending us money, we are not obliged to them. If they want, they can lend money. It does not matter even if they didn't. People of this country will even skip meals to survive.
The commander then obtained blessings from the temple of the sacred tooth relic. The army commander called on the chief prelate of the Askeri chapter, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Dhyanaratana Thera, and obtained his blessings. Journalists questioned Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva about various allegations levelled against him by foreign nations.
I have seen and I still see how certain allegations related to war crimes are levelled against me. There is something called a rule of natural justice. I hope those who can talk will act according to it. Even at the time of the war, I did what I had to do for my country. I thank the President for taking the brave decision of appointing me to this position. I'm sure he personally faced a lot of challenges in appointing me. He will face challenges in the future as well. So I thank him for appointing me despite all of these barriers. I'm committed to safeguard my country even when I'm accused of crimes in the past. They are not a separate division. We are all one. We were committed to safeguard the Sri Lankans. This was a humanitarian mission to rescue civilians when the terrorists wanted to capture the island and when a section was ruled by the LTTE. The Tamil people who lived in those areas know how the army treated them. We protected them by giving them our food to eat and water to drink. They know it very well. No, we have set up army camps based on the requirement. Based on the intel we receive, if the army is required to safeguard the country and the people, we will deploy officers to all places for protection.
The foundation stone for the construction of the Tantirimale reservoir across the lower Malvathu Oya was laid this morning under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The construction of the reservoir will be completed by 2023 and water will be supplied for 50,000 families in the Anuradhapura, Mena and Vaunia districts once the project is completed. The project is named Sanghindiave Randhiyavara and the total cost of the project is 22,900 million rupees. I would like to say that it was against a backdrop where the economy collapsed following the April 21st attacks that we allocated money to stop this project. We moved forward. We never backed down from facing challenges. We never escaped. I asked for this year's estimation of tourist visits to Sri Lanka from the chairman of the Tourism Authority. It is 2 million, which means people have gradually overcome their fears and they are coming back to visit our country. Although the numbers are low from Europe, numbers are good from China and India. But instead, a Bora religious leader has come to Sri Lanka. More than 35,000 tourists have visited Sri Lanka to pay homage to him. Like that, we have covered all economic aspects in the country. We cannot live as a nation that is burdened with debt. We have to overcome these. That is the battle we have to fight. But the biggest concern in the coming 5 years is that are we to win the battle or to lose it? Now we have to talk about these policies. In order to save our nation, there should be a revival. The nation should be strengthened economically.
රට ගොඩ එන්න ඕනේ. රට ආර්ථික වශයෙන් ශක්තිමත් වෙන්න ඕනේ.
Meanwhile, parliamentarian Bandulu Gunawardhan expressed the following views about the statements made by the Prime Minister at a media briefing held at the opposition leader's office.
What the Prime Minister says is unbelievable. He says that his era is the best, when the economic growth rate, which was at 7.4%, has come down to 2%. The economic experts and the people who love the country might think that he is having a nervous breakdown with all this internal crisis. The rupee has been depreciating since 2015. In the coming week, the selling price of the dollar will hit 181 rupees and 53 cents for the first time in the history of the country. Once again, they have started to issue foreign reserves to the market. If he claims he built this country, I challenge him to provide answers to the depreciation of the rupee like never before in this country during his time, to the rise of the cost of living and the increase in public debt, only from devaluation by 1,760. Is this what he means by developing this country? Therefore, we believe that he should answer these questions.
කියන ප්‍රශ්නෙට පිළිතුරු දිය යුතුයි කියලා තමයි අපි විශ්වාස කරන්නේ.
A report has been called on the steps taken by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka against illegal financial institutions during the past 20 years.
The Committee on Public Accounts, or COPA, had called in for a detailed report on the steps taken by the Central Bank against the said financial institutions. The COPA has ordered for a report to be submitted before the 10th of September. COPA issued the order when a group of institutions, including the Central Bank, were summoned before the committee. It was also revealed that legal action has been taken against several illegal financial institutions during the past 10 years. We have filed legal action against more than 18 institutions. The directors have been barred from functioning. They have also been sentenced to jail. A few of them are in prison already. The investigations had revealed that institutions carrying out financial activities in the guise of cooperatives had been gathering money from the general public through illegal means. However, the central bank only regulates financial institutions registered with the central bank. Thereby, legal action can be filed against institutions who accept deposits illegally from the general public, evading the central bank through the provisions of the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011. The central bank must focus its attention on amending the laws and reducing such incidents in the future. A draft has been prepared with the required amendments to the 2011 Act. We are hoping to pass the Act in Parliament before the end of next year.
The market complex in Karamatiya, Hambantota was declared open to the public under the Samata Savana program. The program was organized under the auspices of Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa. This market complex was built by government funds amounting up to 45.6 million rupees. A large number of attendees, including a number of public representatives, participated in this event. Now these people are saying that my economic policy is bankrupt. The same people are rejecting a program that will provide the people with livelihoods. I have created an economic program that will strengthen every single generation of this country, that will make every generation of this country a shareholder of the development. I will start that massive economic program along with the people in this November or December. My dear friends, Sajith Premadasa will not rob this country's money, will not rob the public funds, will not rob state property. It is the people who rob this country, who says that I am unable to do this. I would like to tell them that we won't rob like you did. I would like to say that I will build this country by providing every cent of the public fund to its rightful owners in this country. Some people are really jealous, afraid over the fact that I would work hard to build this country and work hard for the people of this country. All the inactive and the lethargic people are afraid now. Now, it was reported that the UNP leadership will hold a disciplinary inquiry over the conduct of several MPs within the party who support Minister Sajith Premadasa. Journalists questioned chairman of the party Kabir Hashim in this regard.
විනය පරීක්ෂණ
No one has officially informed that a disciplinary inquiry will be held within the party. I heard from the media if someone has taken a decision that's detrimental to the party and to party supporters, I'm ready to hold whatever the inquiry that is required. But as an MP representing the people and as the party chairman, it is my duty to represent the voice of the people.
ඒ හඬවල් වෙනුවෙන් පෙනී සිටින එක මගේ යුතුයකමක්.
ඇත්තටම අමතුමා මේ ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා කවුද?
ඔබතුමා එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක්
When you ask questions like that, there is actually a possibility of holding an inquiry. Voice of the grassroots level should be highlighted. It looks like people want Sajid Premadasa. We have discussed about it. We spoke about it even during the group meeting. That is the truth.
ඒක තමයි ඇත්ත තත්ත්වය.
හැබැයි ජාතික සංවිධායක නවීන් සානක මහත්තයා මේ පෙරේද ප්‍රකාශයක් කර කයගල්ලේ. එතුමා කිව්වා අපේ පක්ෂයේ තුන් දෙනෙක් නම් යෝජනා වෙලා තියෙනවා.
හතර දෙනෙක් මං.
I think 4 names have been proposed. Sarat Fonseca is also included. We say that the party must decide the candidate based on who people want.
පක්ෂ ගන්න ඕනේ කියලායි අපිත් කියන්නේ.
Leader of the opposition, Mahinda Rajapaksa, responded to questions raised by journalists about the current political situation in the country.
We will receive the fullest support of the minority communities. People cannot be deceived every day. People know who worked. They also know who served the north and the east. If anything has been done in the north, that has been done by us.
ගෝඨාභය මහත්මයාගේ සූදානම කොහොමද?
බොහොම හොඳට දිනනවා.
එතුමාගේ පුරවැසිභාවය ගැටලුවක් වෙයි.
ඕක හැමදාම දාන ඕනේ.
General Secretary of the UPFA Mahinda Amaravira says that the discussions between SLFP and SLPP will recommence from next Tuesday onwards. New team members have also been appointed to groups to hold the discussions. According to the General Secretary of the UPFA Mahinda Amaravira, he has been appointed as a team member representing the SLFP. General Secretary of the SLFP, Dasiri Jayasekara, and UPFA parliamentarian Lasantha Alagiyawanna will also represent the SLFP. National organizer of the SLPP, Basil Rajapaksa, have been appointed as the leader of the SLPP discussion team. The rest of the team members include MP Dallas Alaperuma and chairman of the SLPP, Professor G.L. Pires. The discussions between the two parties will commence next Tuesday at the opposition leader's office. In more local news, Sri Lanka Muslim Congress parliamentarian A.L.M. Nazir spoke to journalists following an event in Attala, Chennai today.
Sri Lanka பொதுஜன பிரமுகனுடைய கோட்டாபய ராஜபக்சவுடைய தரப்போட கட்சியோட பேசியிருக்கிறார்களா?
Definitely, they have held discussions with the leadership of the Muslim Congress. With the presidential election nearing, we must hold discussions with them. Not secret meetings, but we are ready to hold discussions out in the open. The group supporting the protection of the Muslim community is with us. We worked together during the rule of Mahinda Rajapaksa, but we are sad to say that the Muslim community was not protected during this time. The Muslim and the Tamil community all contributed to the changing of the government in 2015. We are sad that even then, the Muslim community was not protected. We have no problem if Gotabaya, Sajid, Karu or even if the president is re-elected to office. They have a duty to ensure our security.
A 32-year-old Sri Lankan has been shot dead in Auckland, USA on Tuesday night.
The deceased, identified as Janath Lenage, was shot at about 11:13 p.m. on Tuesday in the 600 block of 20th Street between Rashida Mohammed Street and San Pablo Avenue. Police said he died at a hospital at 1:01 a.m. on Wednesday. U.S. authorities said Lenage was standing outside his vehicle when he was confronted by someone who shot him and took off before police arrived. Speaking to Newsfirst, relatives of the deceased living in Sri Lanka said Janath Lenage has been living in the U.S. for the past 10 years and also holds a U.S. citizenship. He has been serving as an Uber driver. They added that when inquired, the Auckland police refused to reveal any information due to the ongoing investigation.
Welcome back. We experience the breeze that comes from the violent, rough seas and the breeze that comes from the quiet, thick jungles. We might have walked on every reachable path on this island, but still, some hardships and sorrows faced by the people in heard and unheard parts of Sri Lanka remains unresolved. Currently, the Gammadha Village Forums, which listens to these issues faced by these incident people, are being held in the Mondragal district.
Today marks the 7th consecutive day of the Gammadha Village Forums, which highlights the basic needs in rural Sri Lankan villages and focuses on the specific areas identified by the 4th Gammadha Door-to-Door initiative carried out jointly with the University of Peradeniya. Many people appreciated Gammadha for providing a platform for their voices that was unheard by the authorities. Once again, the people placed their signatures on the epistle that comprised 8 specific issues gathered by the Gammadha teams and the volunteers of the Peradeniya University in the 4th Gammadha Door-to-Door initiative.
Cause love will find a way.
People in this village do not have land deeds. We don't have properly constructed road to travel. We won't vote hereafter. We will vote only after our roads are properly built and after we are provided with a proper water supply.
Thereafter, the convoy travelled to the Monaragala town. People in these areas will be recruited for Gammadha V-Force as well.
Wasted tears roll down their faces, shone from the eyes in your...
Up next is Action TV.
The fence is being constructed in Galgamua Buduruwakanda, home to about 400 families. According to the area residents, the fence that is supposed to provide a solution to the human-elephant conflict, in this case, acts as a catalyst that creates a human-elephant conflict, the likes of which these residents have not experienced before. The question is as to why they have built this fence, spending over 1.4 million of government funds only to cover 12 families in this area. When the elephant fence is constructed across the road, these elephants will have no place to go to. These elephants will get back on the road. These officials have not conducted any investigations into this or even asked us as to what should be done in this area. A parliamentarian representing the Youth Parliament of Sri Lanka has spearheaded the construction of this elephant fence, sans the authorization of the Department of Wildlife. Funds for the project had been allocated from the National Youth Services Council. The response of this particular young parliamentarian in question displays the lack of responsibility by this council when public funds are being spent. Besides the elephant fence constructed by the Wildlife Department, do you know that the government constructs elephant fences on contract basis? This is special because of this. Now I made it clear to you that this is not a project conducted by the Wildlife Department. That is the first point. This project is being conducted by the Youth Council in the village. The project is being implemented by the funds received by a youth council in the village. So we requested for the permission of the Department of Wildlife and they granted us permission. There was an issue that cropped up in the middle. Other than that, we have never had any issues regarding quality from the Department of Wildlife or any other institution. We spoke with the head of this territory and he said that this is not a fence constructed by the Department of Wildlife. The government funds had not been allocated for the construction of a fence. The Youth Parliament is a place that is expected to nurture parliamentarians responsible to the general public instead of the brand of parliamentarians of the day that make arbitrary decisions and waste public funds according to their whims and fancies. The controversy surrounding the construction of this elephant fence should serve as a warning that the Youth Parliament should take more steps to ensure that good, accountable leaders are created for the future of this country.
The annual Sikh Day at the Thevatta Basilica Church in Ragama, dedicated to Our Lady of Sri Lanka, was held today.
This was the 78th time that the annual Sikh Day at the Thevatta Basilica, dedicated to Our Lady of Sri Lanka, was held. Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, and the President of the Italian Episcopal Conference, Cardinal Gualtiero Bassetti, presided over the event. The crowning of the statue of Our Lady of Ceylon at the National Basilica Church of Our Lady of Thevatta also took place today. A large number of devotees from all parts of the island were present at the event.
In sports, Ben Stokes' astonishing 135 not out repeated his World Cup heroics and gave England one of their greatest victories to keep the Ashes series alive. It means the series is level with 2 matches to play, with the 4th test at Old Trafford beginning on the 4th of September. And with that, wrap up news for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Do take care and good night.